If you want to watch this show from the comfort of your home on your TV, then all you have to do is get your hands on our brand new Roku box where you can watch all the amazing shows we have here at Destination Newry. Simply get yours now by calling us on 028 308 34010 and get yours today.
Destination Newry, the morning programme reaching out from the heart of the old town of Newry, the new city of Newry, out to the world. We're very popular in Bangladesh, in China, Beijing, all sorts of places, Ballyholland.
Ballyholland, yes, all sorts of places, reaching out, and that's the joy of the internet, isn't it?
It's what it's about, really.
That's what it is.
To reach out is the answer, and it's important to reach out. Joanne Callan of Destination Wellbeing.
Good morning.
And this is your day for your programme.
It is indeed, yes.
What have we got today?
This afternoon we have a lady called Michelle Mathers, and Michelle is an Arvigo therapist.
A what?
An Arvigo therapist.
Arvigo. This is an Eastern...
Yeah, it's a Mayan massage technique.
Mayan.
And
what is it about?
It's a technique that would concentrate very much on massage for the abdomen and the reproductive organs. So I suppose primarily women would be treated with it, but suitable for men for digestive problems and things as well.
Yeah.
And it really helps with regulating PMT, fertility problems, digestive issues, even lower back pain, because a lot of lower back pain can actually be digestive or reproductive related. So
that would, if one is working on a woman's reproductive organs, that would suggest a fairly deep massage, because the ovaries are very well protected by everything surrounding.
Yeah, so it's a deep massage technique, but deep but gentle.
Well, of course.
But very specific for...
And where did the Mayans get it from?
Who knows? Yes. I mean, I think a lot of the indigenous tribes and native people would have been very in tune with what worked. And although it's a treatment, one of the big emphasis of Mayan massage or Arvigo technique is self-care. So is in teaching the woman how to massage her abdomen in a specific technique. You tend to find that women maybe who suffer with PMT and that will automatically massage their stomach area, and that just happens intuitively. Things like hot water bottles and
of course, one hears all of this when one observes one's granddaughters and wives and stuff.
Yeah, there's all that's going on. So. And those types of techniques would be incorporated in, but it's just a more specific way of probably highlighting and bringing to your awareness exactly how you can make the technique work more effectively.
Is it the case that women do not have to put up with the regular cycle of women's problems? They can overcome them?
I would believe 100%. I think it's something that's very much accepted as being normal.
To be sore,
to be painful.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making.
You know, it shouldn't be that way. And thankfully, personally, it's not something that I've ever suffered from. So, but a lot of that is down to self-care. It's down to diet. It's exercise, and you know, obviously every woman is different. So, but there are specific things. Just very interestingly, I had a lady in the last week, and she's been having regular reflexology for a completely different issue, for anxiety and stress and stuff like that. And she happened to mention to me last week that she said, I'm not sure what's going on, she says, but I haven't had any PMT for the last 2 months. And she nearly thought that...
PMT means premenstrual stress, tension. Premenstrual tension,
It fluctuates one between the other. And she was talking about it, but she was almost saying about it in a concerned way that I should have pain. It was almost automatic that she should have. And one of the comments that I made was that although she was having reflexology for a different issue, having had regular reflexology will certainly help.
And take that on board, you girls.
It has certainly benefited, and I see women all of the time who will have their cycles regulated, who, it really doesn't have to be us suffering a time for suffering, and particularly for young girls coming up. You know, it's a time of probably needing a bit more rest as the body changes at that particular time of the month.
You see, it seems to me that there is you mentioned the body changing. Of course it changes, yes. And that women actually need to, more than men, proactively be involved in managing the changes, the psychological changes that occur as a response to what's happening within the body, and also to manage the pain and be proactively involved in the physicality of what's happening. You're dealing as a woman with both physicality and mental issues.
Yeah,
and those don't go away.
No,
they're
don't
there.
Go away. They are
as
there,
a reality.
And women are cyclical. I mean, we are. I think what perhaps presents some of the challenges for women today on a very human, physical level and on an emotional level as well, is that we've forgotten that we are cyclical and that we do work with the cycles of the moon, and that's where our menstrual cycle comes
and that
from.
Should be a good thing.
And if we embrace that and sort of, it's not that we've disconnected, because we can never be disconnected, but I feel that it is that society, as it has changed, we have maybe buried it under the covers a little bit, and we need to dust it off, and we need to...
See, I see the woman as being if you take the steam engine analogy, the flywheels going around up here, that's the man, no problem. Flying around. But the woman is the thrum, boom, boom. It's happening at the soul of the steam engine. You are the universal power, really.
Well, a lady described it to me, and I actually am due to have a Destination Wellbeing Show with her in a few weeks, but what she said was that women, we need to be maybe a bit more like the egg and less like the sperm. We're racing and running and both being equally as powerful and as important, but just a different approach to life and to living. And life has probably taken on that speed and that racing, and but instead of recognising that there's one of us, we're unique, we're different, and embracing that uniqueness.
Should I have always, all through my relationship life, should I have taken seriously the fact that the woman got different at certain times, that she was exuding not the normal loving gentleness, but there was an old angularity there? And
again, I mean, I suppose that doesn't necessarily always have to be the case either.
But most
but it is, but it can be managed, and it's probably more, it's usually more an emotional time, which often gets lost when misunderstood in anger and in...
And what is is the emotional time that you refer to something that's a consequence of, one, hormonal changes, or two, a higher focus on the problems that surround, that normally you can deal with?
Yeah, I think possibly, and I think one, it's the hormonal change. Two, there's a certain element of thought, and I'm not saying that this is 100% thought out, but that at that time, and this may go back to very, very prehistoric man, so it's an underlying cause, is that obviously if a woman is menstruating, she's not pregnant.
Yes, of course.
So there's possibly a grieving at that time, even
pregnant.
Though it's a very, I mean, she may not even want to be pregnant.
Deep in her psyche.
Yes, she may not even want to be pregnant. Yeah. And on one hand, it can be a relief, maybe very consciously a relief that she's not pregnant.
Yeah.
But very deep down in terms of...
There's the desire to procreate.
The procreation, yeah. And as I said, I'm not saying that's a scientific explanation or anything,
it's interesting.
But for me, it's a thought that is quite interesting.
In the deep heart's core of humanity, in the left-hand side of the cave, the woman longs to have a baby, maybe, in order to have a stronger family. In Africa today, they have large families, not because they particularly want to, but because, and India, the large family will help the parents when they grow old.
Yes. Yeah.
And more will survive.
And I mean, we can see the challenges that that's bringing, having smaller families in society here, because maybe when parents do grow old and there's only 1 or 2 children and they're both working, and you know, there's a lot of pressure put on to individuals. So
do people talk enough about these things, man, woman, partners?
I don't think so. I think I generally think, because it is such an important aspect of a woman's life, and we tend not to be very comfortable talking about it. Partners don't really want to know about it,
really?
And you know, there's that. A woman would need to be very comfortable, I think, in herself and in her cycle and in everything, to open up that communication. It's kind of traditionally fallen as well, that's the women's thing, and we'll not.
Yeah,
we'll know nothing about it.
You see the comedians at it, you know. Women's property.
Yeah, and it's been always a joke and a thing that's pushed off. But I do think, like any health issues, we do need to talk more about them.
Yeah,
and we need,
of course,
particularly because it's so part and parcel, I believe, of in a relationship. Understanding that cycle and making having a positive relationship with your partner, it's very crucial to be able to have that conversation and to understand it. And I think that's also something that maybe has, when families might have practiced natural family planning, it was possibly a more open or not conversation, it depends. But with contraception and
there was
being brought in, there's less need for the conversation to happen because it's taken control of.
There was a dreadful time when part of your natural contraception was almost the parish priest at the bottom of the bed saying, you may tonight, you may not tomorrow night, and why aren't you pregnant yet? This went on a lot of times.
Yeah,
I've heard the stories of people, the priest of Camlock maybe 50 years ago, coming into houses and saying, I heard it from my wife, and saying, you're married now, how long? What about the family? Is it coming on? Yeah, can you imagine that awful intrusion? Which President McAleese picked up on this week when she noted that it was bonkers for the Pope to hold a conference of 150 bishops to talk about children and families. She has bonkers for 150 celibates to come together and talk about these matters,
And just yesterday I was at the launch of a seminar on, as part of the Children and Young People's Alliance in Newry here.
Children and Young People's Alliance, isn't that interesting?
But it's an initiative or a subgroup of a council group, as far as I understood. But their topic was domestic violence and its impact on the home as well. So, some of the statistics are very shocking even for our own area, and particularly with young teenagers, both male and female. So it's not. It's not exclusive.
Are they perpetrators or victims?
Well, both. I mean, for every victim, there's a perpetrator, isn't there?
Yeah. Can I ask you, just because this is the conversation we have, the way women are, the way men are. And you can ask me the same question because it's challenges. Do you like being a woman?
Yes,
you
very
do?
much so.
If you had the choice and a magic wand could be waved, would you prefer to be a man?
I think it reminds me a wee bit of that song, and I can't remember which artist sings it, but if I was a man or if I was a boy, I think it would be interesting to see the world from a man's perspective. And because I do think, whilst we're equal, we're different, and I think we need to both embrace those differences and not try. I believe that there's a bit of a change in the world, in that we're actually all trying to be the same, and I don't think that's going to help anybody. But I think we can be very much equals. But embrace what makes us unique and what makes us us. So
hugely interesting.
I think I would like to. I'd like to experience it, but I think this time round anyway, I'm happy to be a woman. Maybe I'll come back next time as a man.
I would hate with a vengeance to be a woman. But I recognise that I have a soft side. And that soft side sits on the shelf alongside an evil dark side. I can love as easily as I can kill.
Yeah,
But
there's a mix. And I mean, I suppose that's true in all of us. We have a feminine side, we have a masculine side. And it's balancing those out, I think, that helps to make the world.
If I thought the world was going to be full of men, it would be very hard to stay with it, because we're so angular and you would see
but
them
again,
all
if it was full of women, it wouldn't.
You get so tired off with it,
wouldn't
wouldn't
work
you?
either. It needs the balance, you know, the yin and the yang, and
yin and the yang.
Yeah, it needs both.
This has been a good conversation.
We could go on for a while, but
we could.
Yeah.
So today,
so today, Maya Massage.
Tell them again. Maya Massage.
With Michelle Mathers.
With Michelle Mathers.
So particular of interest for maybe anybody that has fertility problems or bowel digestive problems. It's a very interesting conversation to be having.
Absolutely.
So, and a lot of people, what we're also finding, what I found recently was since I started talking to people, a lot of people really aren't aware that Maya Massage is available in the Newry area.
Well, they'll find out about it today.
So they'll find out about it today, because a lot of people are actually travelling to Belfast for treatment, and you know that obviously adds time and cost and Michelle's a very skilled therapist, and she's also a paediatric nurse. So
she knows what she's about. Ultimately, as well, a decent lifestyle. Yeah. You know, proper food. You know, I encourage people in this. I do need in the morning time to take time for breakfast. Yeah. Now, all I'm eating in breakfast is one plate. There's the size of my fist of blueberries, there's a banana, there's a sliced orange, and a sliced pineapple. That's my breakfast. Yeah. But I need to give myself 10 minutes, 12 minutes to take that.
To take it,
The temptation, because if you're looking after yourself in that way to begin with, is good. And also exercise. Exercise
and water, and you know, the same general, I suppose, 3 or 4 things can sort out pretty much all health problems. Well, or obviously not sort out some of the more serious ones, but they'll certainly go to play a part. So good diet, balanced diet, variety of different foods, because a lot of the time we've diets out that maybe leave out this bit and leave out that bit, which I personally think that it's moderation and it's balance and variety. Is too much of anything's bad for us, but we do need certain things. So diet, drinking more water, and you know, we can all, everything from digestive problems to headaches, all of that can all be sorted out with more water. And as you say, exercise, and then I think looking after which plays a part in that as well, but facing or looking after our emotional baggage that we're carrying as well.
Tell me about that.
And clearing that one out, because that's a whole.
I give a bit of advice here. When you got a bad picture in your head, rip it out, throw it away, and put a good picture in instead.
And it's the picture in the head, but it's also the feelings in the heart as well that we can, you know, we talk about having to get things off our chest and a lot of stuff like that. So
and sleep well.
And sleep,
but
if we're doing all of those things, sleep comes pretty.
It does pretty naturally. And for our next trick next week at Bellini's at the canal, Joanne and I shall walk upon the water. Go well. Take care. God bless you. All the best. God bless you.
for